Hello, everybody. It's your experts at NWOET, and we're meeting together today, Dr. Roger Manier, Judy Tucker, and me, Dr. Tanya Sanders, to talk about the problems that teachers might have or concerns that they might have with integrating technology. Today, we're going to be talking about technology integration. Is it worth it? Next week, we're going to talk about, do I even know enough to integrate technology? The following week, we'll talk about, what do I need to know to integrate that technology into my classroom? And then the last one, of course, do I really even have time to build the stuff? Do I have time to restructure my lesson plans? So yeah, we're going to chat about that. And you can always, as always, find all of our contact information and all of our resources on the website, the link that you see on your page right now. Good morning, guys. Thanks for joining me. I think we'll just have a little chat about this. Is it worth it? Is it really worth using technology in the classroom for all the bother and the work and time?
Well, the answer obviously is yes. So, but talk about why. So I'm going to get to my summary at the beginning. And to me, what's most critical about why we have to have technology in the classroom is because our students are going to have technology available to them their entire lives. They already have had technology available to them their entire lives. So even if technology didn't do anything to help teach my particular concepts, my learning objectives, I still need to make sure that kids know how to use this technology wisely, how to look up information, how to communicate, how to work together. So it's worth it because our students are going to have this incredible set of tools that, frankly, most of them don't know how to use very well. Oh, they can play games and they can chat with their friends, but they don't know how to use it very well to accomplish objectives, to meet their individual goals, whether it's in the classroom or career goals, lifelong goals, family goals. So we need technology in our classrooms to prepare kids for their future.
I agree with you on that one. I think the word that might fit what you're saying is disconnect. There's a disconnect between this on their phone or the iPad when they're playing games to how that applies to real life skills. And an example is like the boys, the twins have played Minecraft forever on their iPads when we finally, felt like it was appropriate. And all of a sudden in school, when they were, what was it, last year? It was before they were in kindergarten. But all of a sudden it just clicked, like reading and words. And not the only thing, they had classroom stuff, but the one thing that we kind of attributed to that was the reading and stuff that they had to do and the coding that they had to do in Minecraft. And it was that disconnect. At first, it was just like a video game. But then when they're like, oh, these words mean something, these combinations, if I put this asterisk and this parenthesis and put these words behind it, then it'll make that guy move forward, or it'll build a house, or it'll create some different mineral that I can use to build this tower. So, and I saw that connection happen. And I think that's why we need to integrate technology, is because the students already know how to click, 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 or play video games. They just don't understand how it relates to their life.
And Judy, I know something that you talk about so frequently is the importance of reading. A few episodes ago in our blog, you said it doesn't matter what they read, just so they read something. And with your expertise in early learning, reading, your certifications there, and your constant promotion of resources for kids to read, what do you think about, in terms of, does using technology help kids develop reading skills?
Oh, yes, definitely. I cannot tell you how much I love technology, because when I first started teaching back in the early 70s, I don't even know what we defined as the word technology. I just know when that Apple II was given to me, it really excited me of all the possibilities. And there really weren't that many things in the beginning that we could do. But now, I mean, I even think some days that I wish I was back in my 6 to 12 classroom teaching home ec or family and consumer science, because there are just so many things related to nutrition that you can implement technology. There's apps on the iPhone that are free, My Fitness Pal, that they could track their diets, show them things like that that can be used in real life. Just looking up a recipe. I know there's still a place for cookbooks for that your grandmother had notes in. I was surprised recently that my 25-year-old niece wanted to take grandma's old cookbooks, but they had notes in them from her. And so that was the one she picked. But again, you know, you can just share a recipe so easily with technology and just find the answer to anything practically you have an issue with, as far as a stain on your clothing or something doesn't go right on the recipe. You know, Google it and you have an answer from somebody. It may not be one that really works, but you know, I just, sometimes people don't understand. You still have to sew with a sewing machine, but the technology with sewing machines is just absolutely, I'm not even knowledgeable about some of the things my former students are doing, but I love reading some of the, you know, the applications they use technology in their professions. It's just really mind-boggling.
You know, and when you talk about STEM curriculum, STEM or STEAM, science, technology, engineering, maybe put arts and creativities in there to get the STEAM, math. I mean, all of that, both within the classroom and beyond, you have to know technology tools. We have to be teaching our students the technology tools. Judy, you just mentioned sewing. I know we have a sewing club at our church, and they about panicked because the internet went down, and that's how they were going to download their patterns. And so, you know, it's how we get information and how we share information, and we need to be modeling that in our classroom and making sure our students know how to use it. And again, for the whole STEAM curriculum, everybody wants to do STEAM. Well, how do I start doing STEAM, science, technology, reading, and math? How do I do that? You always have to think, why am I doing that? And if I'm doing that to prepare students for their futures, I need to know that I'm showing them the correct kind of tools that they will be using, whether it's the next grade they move to, or whether they go into college, a 2-year degree program, the military, or straight into the workforce. I've got to make sure that they have the technology tools. So is technology worth it? Yes, it's worth it. It's vital. It's how we have to prepare our students for the future.
Yeah, I agree. And all of the things that we're saying are teaching the students life skills. They're, you know, looking up the patterns on, you know, the internet and how to do something. The internet isn't doing it for us. The internet is a tool that's helping us go further in that skill. So if my teacher is Judy and she wants me to do a certain stitch, and I'm just like, oh, I missed that part of how, you know, the technical aspect of it. And then the student reads that fact or that information and then puts their own creativity on it, and then creates this stitch on the you know, the apron or whatever they're making. And now they've learned a real life skill where they've taken a fact from this technology tool, put it into physical life work experience, and made something amazing. And, you know, trial and error. Maybe they messed up on that stitch, so they go back and they do more research and they figure out this different way, and then trial and error, they just kind of go back to that real life experience. And I think that's what it is, where technology allows us to delve into the thing that we don't know, find that thing, and then expand on it based on our creativity.
Just the other day, I was doing some sewing and the stitches were skipping. And of course, I just went to the internet and put down stitches, or, you know, and it said change the needles. I'd already done that. I'd already done all the things I knew how to do, but I didn't think of increasing the top tension. Boom, that seemed to work, because I was at a loss. I thought, I'm going to have to go to my neighbor and ask her to use her sewing machine. There must be something wrong with my machine. So just little things like that, that I can't even imagine not having the technology or showing students the uses, the many uses of technology that are out there. I mean, YouTube videos, they used to have to crowd around me to try to show them something like doing a certain stitch. Well, think now I could just blow it up on a screen and show an expert and we all can learn together. I mean, I think that's one of the biggest things is using technology helps teachers learn with their students, because really teachers don't know everything. None of us do. And I hate to say it, but there's just about everything there is to know on the internet. I mean, I know there's some things that, that don't show the practical things, but I just would not want to be without technology if I was a teacher
Well,
today.
and that's the whole, Judy, what you get to the whole paradigm shift of education. And many of us educators are struggling with this. Certainly our state tests are struggling with this. And this is the shift from being able to recall information, remember and recall, as opposed to being able to research information. And we really are in a transition phase here. And we have to help understand, when I say we have to help understand, we have to help ourselves as educators, our faculty members, our colleagues, our parents, our students, and the decision makers in Columbus and around the nation and world. We have to help them understand we are no longer in a recall society where I have to remember facts. What I need to know is I need to be able to research the information and get the information. And as we design tests and assessments, and as we measure students' capabilities, and are they being successful? Am I doing a good job teaching? Increasingly, it's vital that they know how to research information rather than recall information. And there are many, many examples of this, but I'll just go back to, if you like some of the shows, Pioneer Woman, whatever. In olden days, 150 years ago, most people needed to use around 100 different 150, maybe 200 different pieces of technology. And at that time, of course, technology, I needed to be able to grease the wheels on my wagon. The wheel in the wagon was a technology, just as, the tires on our car are a technology today. But there are only maybe 150, 200 different things. They need to know how to sharpen knives. They need to know how to pump worked and so forth. Today's students probably need to know between 2,000 and 3,000 different types of technology and pieces of information. And educators probably need to know in the tens of thousands of information in order to do things, in order to survive. Also, our communities are changing. It used to be not very long ago, we were very, very locally focused. And we didn't know much about people in the next town, let alone about people in the next city or across the strait or across the nation or around the world. Our knowledge of people around the world and events around the world were very, very limited. And now, we are exposed on a daily basis to cultures and activities and beliefs and structures and communities that are just, in the tens of thousands. And so if there's a problem in Puerto Rico, I'm not going to know what the city is maybe or what the roads were like, but I want to go research that and see if in some way I can help. The wildfires, is there something I can do to help with them? 50 years ago, we wouldn't know the wildfires were going on until after they were over. So again, technology is what's going to help us survive in this information age. We need to make sure students know this for the explosion of facts and information and communities that we're all being exposed to.
So technology integration, is it worth it? We agree. Yes, it is. It is worth it. We think it is important to your real life skills. I mean, I'm thankful for technology for all of my boys, all the things that they've learned to help them, move through the world, real life experiences, able to research the thing and help them move forward in that thing that they're doing. So it is worth it. It is worth it. So that is our time for today. I'm had wonderful time discussing this topic with you guys. Like I had mentioned in the introduction, the next week is going to be, do I know enough? That's kind of, a little bit of a fear when professional development is being offered throughout the school year. Do I even know enough to be able to integrate this Am I good enough with technology? What do I really need to know? And then of course, I don't have time. Do I really have time to do this? Is it worth it to dedicate that time to put it in there? Yes, it is. So we're going to talk about those other 3 topics to help you ease into using technology in your classroom and eliminate those fears, those issues, those concerns. Thanks a lot for joining us. We will see you again next week. If you have any questions, our contact information is at the end of this video, also at that URL that you see on your screen right now. That is going to give you our contact information and any resources related to this series that is talking about concerns and issues with technology integration. Thank you.